I make this putt. We break 100K. And we go to 115. No worries. If I don't make the putt, that means we're going down to 90K. Limit order. Fuck, I missed it. That means we're going down to 90K. Brandon was bopping, dog. What's up? And a Sunday to remember. Yo, why is this a Sunday to remember? Educate me. Educate me. Why is this a Sunday to remember? Is it because this Sunday we didn't lose our level of 107, 108, which is incredible? I don't know how the fuck 4th of July, right? How did we go through 4th of July and Bitcoin didn't lose its spot? It just stuck there at 107. That's fucking incredible, because as far as I can remember, every 4th of July crypto season that I've been through has been very, very bearish. It's always been a sell-off, you know what I mean? It's always been a sell-off. So the fact that you know, Bitcoin didn't lose its structure over the weekend on 4th of July when everyone, you know, took a break and everything is phenomenal to me. And that shows very, very, very strong structure to the upside. But that can all change, right? Let's take a look at the charts here. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's go over some fucking news together. I got a great price on Zebek. What is that? What's Zebek? What is Zebek? What is Zebek? I don't know what this is. This is something new to me. Yeah, ZBDN. What is that? I still don't know what that is. I still don't know what that is. You're gonna have to help me out, bro. Should I go look at it? ZBDN. Now, let me see. Do I have everything set there? Yeah, okay. Oh no, this is what I wanted to do. Hold on, I gotta set some shit up. I can't believe Bitcoin is holding this trend line right here. This is incredible. Like, look at this trend line right here. This trend line, this yellow one that I'm pointing at right here, goes back all the way to the beginning, first resistance, right? Our first market bull run top, 2011. Boom, that yellow line, trend line, goes all the way. It becomes support here for the bull run, boom. For every bull run, this line has been the Fuck, I just fucked up my words. The catalyst. Bam, bitch. Don't fuck with me, boy. The catalyst. It's the catalyst. This line right here has always been the catalyst. This is like a moving average, right? When we get above this line right here, we fucking blow the fuck up for the final quarter of cryptocurrency bull run. You fucking schmucks. If you know anything about anything. Okay? So here's the line again. Boom, bust out. Gone for the bull run. Here we are in our times now. Okay, so this whole time, here's the line right here. We've been underneath the line. We go over the line. We tried to boost. We lost it. We go over it. We lost it. Here we are again. And now we seem to be doing something different than what we've done in the past. In the past, we've blown over the line. Let me make this bigger. Right? This yellow line right here. In the past, we've blown over the line, come back down, and just blown over it again just to come back down. But now, what we're doing on this line is building a strong, very, very strong support structure, right? To get us the fuck out of town. And this is very possible. We could have a very, very bullish scenario here because we are building and accumulating so much in this strong section right here on the line, to where if we make it over the line and past in and start trading in this channel, that could lift us up to the next level. Okay? And that's what's gonna probably need to happen for us to be in a very bullish situation. Okay? Now you're looking at these lines right here that I got. You're like, what the fuck are you drawing here? What is this Stargate pyramid? You know, what the fuck are you on, deuce? What the fuck kind of drugs are you smoking? Because I want to see what you see. So in order to see what I see, you need to smoke lots of weed and just get into this mindset of pyramids. No, I'm just kidding. This is what I call the ascension. You know, this is the holy grail. Once you step into this zone right here, you ascend to the heavens of Bitcoin. Sounds crazy, I know. There's no logic behind it. There's nothing fancy. There's no fucking shit. It's just, you know, this is how I do charts. I'm not esoteric or mesoteric or any of those terics. This is, you have to be just, I can't explain it. I have no technical analysis for this, but let me explain to you what this is, okay? So each bull run has been extended by 4 months to the T. Like, I can't let that go ever, right? So if we take a look at every last final quarter of a bull run, okay? For instance, the last bull run we had was a double top, boom, a boom, which is what we're kind of doing right now, is a double top, boom, boom, boom. Okay, but this is not the final stage, right? This is the channel before the final stage, if you ask me, okay? Because I want you to take a look at the visuals here, okay? If you don't know how to read charts, that's fine. But if you know visuals and geometry, shit like this should make sense to you. Because during the accumulation stage, we have these boxes, right? These are channels, okay? And each channel has a point of control, which is the halfway mark, okay? And it's pretty much the market maker's favorite place to be. It's where he wipes out all his bets, okay? But this channel, you can see where the bounce happens every time we make a new high to a new channel, okay? Right? So here's the point of control of this whole range, okay? Now you can see it did a sweep before it left, rode this trend line and got out, okay? Every channel is doing that. Every channel does that before it takes off into the next, okay? Look, here's the point of control, and it actually coincides with this super blue line, which is the super Bitcoin trend line that's been bouncing every fucking time, okay? So these two coincide together. There was a big fatty bounce. Here we go again. Point of control, middle of the channel. Dancing and flirting, rides it, accumulates a lot, and then rises up, and then boom, makes its next level. The bounce comes from where? The middle right there, okay? Here's another example of a channel. Boom, boom, up and down, middle, point of control. You can see how this was resistance, now it's support, now it lost, now it's resistance, and then boom, goes over the point of control, bounces off the blue Bollinger as well. You see that? The blue Bollinger line is like a 50 EMA, okay? So you have all these different confluences that interact together to give you that double power of the bounce. Okay, that's why this is so powerful, what I'm showing you right now. Nobody else thinks like this or even dares to try to teach you something like this, because it's just, you got to be into it. You know what I mean? So here we go again. We have the channel right here. You have the upper top and you have the lower bottom, and then you have your mid. Now what happened here? We have a couple different lines, okay? Because after this, we go into a humongous rise. And this is kind of what we're looking at right now. I want you to understand that this is the accumulation phase, okay? Where the rectangles are wide, okay? In the accumulation and ascension phase, the rectangles are wide. Now, what happens when we get to the final quarter of crypto? The final euphoric stage where Bitcoin, last time it went to 69K and then 72K. This is when you start seeing the change of the market structure go into a full-on bull run capacity, where the rectangles, when they were accumulating and ascending, were wider. Well, now when we enter the final phase of crypto of the bull run cycle, this is the most euphoric phase. This is when the channel boxes get shorter and taller, okay? So we are embarking onto that next phase where these channels get shorter and they start to get taller, because in this final epic phase of crypto, of this bull run, this is when the most euphoric rises and the biggest candles are created in that cycle we're in, okay? Here's the cycle we're in right now, okay? As you can see, we have our accumulation, our ascending accumulation phase, okay? Now, each phase for each cycle, the boxes and the channels are always different, right? But you can see we have some formations here. Now I'm going to put it on the daily. And let's look again. We have the same kind of things happening here again and again through this Bitcoin cycle. You see this universal trend line. You see this box channel. You see the point of control in the middle, right? What does Bitcoin do right here? It shows resistance, right? Breaks above, hits this line. I can't make this shit up. Resistance, falls back down through the point of control, bounces back up. Here's that yellow trend line again, hits it again, and the local channel box, comes back down to the universal trend line right there. And what does it do? It accumulates. And then the big bounce, okay? Let's move on to this box. And this box right here is special because this box right here reminds me of what we're doing right now. Okay? So let me put it on the weekly. This is getting crazy, y'all. Now, this formation right here reminds me exactly. This formation right here reminds me, I mean, this is like a duplicate of this right here, okay? Let's just take a look, because this could play out the same exact way. Like this formation right here. The green candle up to the building and the rising, and then kind of like a accumulation, right? And then the blow off top. We are kind of exactly doing the same thing right here. If you have a look, okay? We're making that bullish bounce off the trend line, boom. Here we go, off the trend line, boom. And we have a bullish month or two, and that's what we just served, a bullish month or two. And now we're accumulating. And what happens next is one last dip to the downside, and then we're off. Okay? Now we could be expecting one last little dip to the downside, and then, guys, we're fucking out of here, dude. I'm telling you. This is a very possible scenario, okay? Because of the way Bitcoin held up on the 4th of July, you know, that, to me, I mean, I thought we were going to have like a fucking, at least a 10% sell-off. The charts weren't saying none of that, but you never know, right? And it's like, I just couldn't believe that we survived the 4th of July like that. Above this trend line, this yellow one right here, okay? That is incredible to me, right? And what happened? So let's look at this box channel right here. We've been trading in this channel for how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, blah, blah, blah. Whoa. It's a lot of weeks. We've been there for probably like, what? Well, let's just break it down into months. Each candle is a month now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. How many did we serve here until we lifted up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months until the liftoff happened. What are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Okay? It's just an average of what we've been going through, right? So, to me, man, things are looking very bullish. And also, guys, we are nearing the final phase of this cycle right now. Okay? Every cycle we've done, we create these patterns of these, the drop down, the ascension, and then the final blow off top. Right? The drop down, the ascension, and then the final blow off top. The drop down, the 13-month bear market, the ascension, we tie the all-time high, and then the blow off top. The final, the bear market, 13 months, bear market bottom, ascension, accumulation, tie the all-time high, and we're off. Okay? We're getting ready for the last 5 months, right? Technically, we have, what? It's July 7th. We have 5 more months left. I have us coming to an end with this bull run at the end of the year, at December or January 2026 is where I cap off this Bitcoin bull run. Altcoins come in right after that for a market top, and I think altcoins phase out around March, April, okay? But let me explain to you the blast off, you know, this little pyramid thing I got here. Why did you make this? Like, what kind of weed were you smoking? What the fuck were you on when you did this shit? Like, I can't even take you seriously. You look like a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not gonna take you seriously. Fuck your little theory. I don't want to listen to your stupid little pyramid. Well, fuck you. Because my pyramid rules. And whatever you fucking say sucks. So get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. But listen, this is how I made this, okay? These marks right here. Let me take my beautiful face off the screen. So these marks, even this one, this blue, we'll make it blue. I'm blue. Okay, so you see these three blue lines, right? I mean, we could take these out. These don't matter, okay? Now, these three blue lines, 1, 2, 3, right there. Fuck the price. Fuck where they're at. This is just the price formation. This is the angle of the climb that we can expect to see if we're going to have a market finale blow off top bull run. You can expect this kind of structure to commence, okay? Look at the angles of these uprises. There's one bull run number 2, bull run number 3, okay? If I make this smaller and I take these little sticks over here and bring them back, it shows you, right? Here we go. Oh, they're locked in place. They're locked in place, but here we go. This is what I did. You draw a line from the market top to the ascension point of where it started. Boom. So there's the line for 2020. Okay. Now we have the line for the market top to the ascension from the bottom. There's 2016. Okay. These are the angles of the slopes of the climbs that you can expect when we reach euphoria. Look at this fucking see, the last phase of crypto is where you see the biggest movements, the biggest FOMO, the biggest marketing. It's everywhere. Your grandma's coming up to you. Did you buy Bitcoin? Did you buy little Timmy a Bitcoin for his future? Okay. I'm just saying, okay? Now, these are the lines that we expect to see. All right, so when I match this lineup from the ascension point, I mean, we're looking at massive, right? From here to there. Now, and I have them pointing to this date as well. So that's how I got these lines right here. They're not just lines I drew, right? They're actual like historical lines from the past that are proven, right? So I have our ending market top coming around January or December, the end of December or January 1st. So that is where I placed the tops of these lines. You got 1, 2 up here and then 1 down here because I put them at the blue trend line, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, guys, okay? But, you know, you need to understand a trend is a trend until it's broken, okay? The trend is your friend. A trend is a trend until it is broken. Never go against the trend until it is broken in front of your face. That's what I've learned in crypto, okay? That's just my advice to myself, all right? So this has been the trend, guys. You see this orange line right here? 1, 2, 3 times it's been the market top. 3 times. In every cycle, it's hit the euphoria phase. Boom, boom, boom. Now, are we going to hit it again? I can't tell you that. I never. That's the fun thing about crypto. You know, you do all this research for what? To make some fucking, you know, money too, but you're here for, you know, you're here to make sure what you're looking at and what you're thinking about is right, because you want to know for this next cycle coming up, you want to know that your confluences, can have some confidence. If you don't have confidence in your confluence, your trading is going to be all over the place, even when you do take a trade. But once you figure out your confluences and everything and how they mix and match with other people's confluences and other shits, this is when crypto gets fun and very predictable. Okay? And that takes years, guys. You have to put your fucking head in the game. This is not a game. It's a fucking real money gambling fucking adventure. Okay? And it's your money. And there's a way to beat it. You read the charts. You look at historical evidence. You see what we've done in the past and you bring it to now. Okay? So another thing, how do we know that the market top is not here yet? Is the pi cycle. Okay? The pi cycle will tell you everything you need to know about a market blow off top. We are not there yet. Now, in order to get to the pi cycle, you go to indicators, you type in PI, and there's your pi cycle, okay? You click on that, and boom, here's your pi cycle. It's sloppy, I know. But I'll tell you what happens in this pi cycle. There's 4 lines in a pi cycle. There's one green line on the bottom, okay? And then there's 3 moving averages, 2 in the middle and 1 on top. Purple and green in the middle, red on top. Now, during the phase of accumulation and ascension, which is that middle ground until we reach that all-time high from the last cycle, you're going to get separation from the top and the bottom. Okay, so the 2 lines in the middle will be commingling, fucking each other, all scissor fucking and all that stuff. Must be great, right? So now you got this top line isolated, bottom line isolated, 2 girls in the middle scissor fucking each other, right? And then once we get to that all-time high, once we've tied that all-time high from last time, great, beautiful. We should start seeing, when this final phase quarter begins, we should start seeing the uprise in the candle lift, right? And what we should also see is this distinct feature where the 2, lesbians in the middle that are fucking scissor fucking like crazy, switching places up and down, 69ing each other, all that stuff. And this lonely person on top, well, they start hollering at each other and they're like, hey, we should have a... I have a good idea. We should have a threesome together. Yeah, oh my God, no way. A threesome? Yes, a threesome. So the 2 girls in the middle, they're scissor fucking each other, and they're like, oh my God, we should invite her over and just do a threesome together. Totally. And that's what happens in the final phase. These 3 get together. Oh, and they start getting really close and snuggly, and the minute these converge together and start pinching together, that is when you know, oh my Lord, we're about to hit euphoria, the gates of Bitcoin heaven, okay? And these 3 go off, and they leave this motherfucker in the dust, the green line at the bottom. And that happens every bull run cycle, okay, guys? Look. Commingling in the middle, 2 separate lines away from each other, the uprise happens. What starts happening? They start talking to each other. The 2 dykes in the middle start talking to the one upstairs, and they're like, you know what? We should have a fucking threesome. And the one upstairs is like, oh my God, I haven't had my pussy touched in years. And she's like, oh my God, that's a beautiful idea. And what happens? They start getting closer and closer until they finally commence the 3-way scissor fuck. I don't know how they do it. It's incredible, but 3 dykes scissor fucking 3 ways right here. And that is your bull run. Okay, that is the blow off market top. It happens here, right? It happens here, Threesome? Lonely person on the bottom. Sorry. It happens here. Threesome? Lonely person at the bottom. These are all the bull runs. Here we go. Bear market. Right? 2 in the middle. Boom. We go on for the final euphoric phase. The threesome happens. Right? Ascension, they're separated. Red on top, 2 in the middle, green on the bottom. As soon as we pull up, boom. They start getting tighter. When they get and converge tighter together, like they are right now, right here, boom, the red line coming in, right here, the 2, and they converge. That's when you know we are in the most euphoric phase, okay? And in the next couple months, you need to be ready to pull the fuck out, okay? Here we are, coming to where we're at right now. What have we learned so far? We've learned that, yes, during the ascension phase, the market bottom, all this, when we rise up to coming to our all-time high, we have the 2 lines in the middle, scissor fucking commingling. And then what do you have here? You have the red line by itself. You have the green line on the bottom by itself. We are still in a zone of just, this is a very extended bull run, guys. We are still not intertwining and, we haven't had the threesome yet. And when you look at this, what do you see? You see a formation that does this little wave, right? And every cycle, we have this little wave formation. I want you to look at this. Is like a copyright. This little wave right here, I want you to look at the pi cycle. The red line does this. Boom. And then it waves up. Here, let's do it again. The red line, it waves. And then it waves up. Okay? So we have the wave to the wave up. We have the wave, boom, wave up. We have the wave, and then boom. And then where's our wave up? We're not there yet. We're just not there yet. Okay? And this is something to be very, very excited about because it's absolutely true. We are in a very extended bull run. Okay? This is prolonged. This is absolutely prolonged because honestly, if we're thinking about bull runs and all this stuff, well, I'll tell you what. Oh, where the fuck is my RSI? The first bull run ever would have ended right here on December 2024. The second bull run would have ended on April 2025. Now the third bull run actually would end on August 2025. Isn't that crazy? Now for me, what's crazy is when I did the research of every market bottom to the market top of that cycle, right? The second bull run was exactly 4 months. It ended 4 months after the first bull run. And the third bull run market top ended 4 months exactly after the second bull run. So knowing that the trend is our friend and the trend isn't broken until it breaks in my face, what did you think I had to do? I said, okay, if that's the case, crypto gods, I'm going to add 4 more months to the last bull run we just had. And where does that take us? It takes us to the end of December and January 1st is where I have our market top for Bitcoin. And as far as altcoin goes, that market top comes around 3 to 4 months later after the Bitcoin top. Okay? So, knowing that, I put that date right there, January 1st, 2026. is my ending. And I took those uprises from every other bull run we've had, and I slapped it right there, coming downward. And if we were to finish this picture of this pi cycle, I think my pyramid does a lot of justice, right? Because honestly, you could talk about prices and everything all you want, but there is a real structure here to this pi cycle, okay? There's a real structure here. And I just showed you what that structure looks like. And I think you know what it looks like by now, too. Woo! And yes, look at that blue trend line. It used to be, the blue trend line is actually the first market top of Bitcoin, right? The first bull run, boom, came down, your 5-month bear market, okay? To your next blow off top cycle, right? And then every bull run cycle has a bear market. How long does the bear market last for? Well, every year or every cycle, this bear market was 14 months. The next cycle, from the market top to the bear market lows, this was a 13-month bear market cycle. Okay? On the next bull run, we had our double top to 69 to what? 70 fucking 2K or some shit? I don't know. 69K. Well, after that top, the double top, we went into a bear market again. That was the year of the Shemitah. This is when FTX and all that faggot shit happened, right? Now, that bear market lasted for 13 months again. Okay, the trend is your friend. After this blow off top and euphoric phase of crypto, you know, my advice to you is to sell 90% of your portfolio, because we're going into a bear market again, like we do every year, okay? And if you're new to crypto, you might not want to believe me. You might think that this is going to last forever, but it doesn't. I'm showing you right here. This is a 4-year cycle, and 1 year of that 4 has a 1-year bear market cycle, okay? You need to understand that. And so how much of my portfolio, if I don't sell my Bitcoin, will I lose? Well, if you didn't sell your Bitcoin during the 13-month bear market cycle, you would have lost 83% of your whole portfolio. Now, if you didn't sell your Bitcoin here, at the market top here, all the way to the bear market, well, you would have lost 77% of your portfolio. Guys, that is a huge chunk gone, okay, that you had actually. So you're asking me, why would I sell my Bitcoin or this and that? Because I sell it to USD only to use some of that money to short the market again for 1 whole year, to come back down to the bear market lows, use that profit in USD to buy again and repeat the whole process again. Bitcoin trading is one of the easiest trading when you understand the cycles of the market. When you understand that there is a bear market, that there is 3 years of bullish activity and 1 year of nothing. Okay? But I love this. I love what I have right here. I want to see this thing play out. Maybe it won't. You know? Maybe we're topped out right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 115 is our top. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you need to understand that even though price action and prices get higher, the amount of profit increase gets lower. Okay? 2012 halving, 8,800% increase from $13 to $1,100. 2016 halving, 2,500% increase from $664 to $1,700. Big price movement, but look what just happened to the increase. We went from 8,800 to 2,500. And now look what we did in 2020. We went from 9,000 to 67. Huge price gap increase, but now it's 600%. So at the rate of that, we're going from 88 to 25 to 600. That's around 70 to 80% percentage loss every time. Okay? So if we were to do that from 600%, we'd find ourselves at a 200% to 250 something, increase. And I did the math and all that with ChatGPT and all that stuff. And that brings us to a price of 115K is where we would top out at. Which is right where we're at now. Okay? I also have this weird red trend line here that's a double top here in an upward angle, which is really funny how we are having so much trouble getting above it right now. Look how this double top coincides with this. I mean, it's incredible. So if we ever break out, right, we need to make sure we break out over that 120K to that 126 so we can correct and bounce off of 120, 119 to get to higher levels like 150. If we want to reach these 150s and 200s, we are in a very important spot right here. We have to, right? We have to break out of this channel. Okay? Now here's the channel again. We talked about this earlier. Let's break it down to the weekly. We have our resistance levels, okay? I've drawn the point of control right here, right in the middle of this channel. But I also have a very strong line of support right here. So these are our bounce zones. In case we're supposed to lose any levels right here, in case something happens and we do lose this line, this yellow distinct diagonal line that I can't believe we're hanging on to dear life for. If we lose that and we come down, our next support bounce would be right there at 99K. And if we lose that 99K, the next massive bounce that is definitely going to bounce is this area right here at the point of control, which is 90K exactly. Okay? So any dip we get from here on out, guys, whether it's the 99K or the 90K, it's a must-buy situation. Because if we bounce down from here, or here, or here, technically, it's still a higher low at all three of these positions, okay? And isn't that funny how if it were to bounce, that my ascension zones are right there? I mean, right there. Guys, there's no planning to my shit. These lines have been here for a long, long time, guys. For 2 to 3 years almost, okay? I just put these in today. Or not today, like a couple days ago, right? And it's just funny because this is a double top. And usually when you have a double top, you come down and you do the fucking bat ears and you're out. But we're having a strange, anomalous type weekend of a 4th of July where the price action actually held. I mean, that is, you ask me, every 4th of July I've been to has been a fucking sell-off, okay? Why? Not this time. It's kind of crazy to me, right? You know, and you have this fucking engulfing candle right here. Bam! That's very bullish, okay? And I do believe, I strongly believe, I don't give a fuck what you fucking schmucks think. Fuck your research. No, I'm just kidding. But I do believe that this right here is exactly what we're looking at. Right there. I mean, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. I'm excited. I'm excited because this is where the real fun stuff begins. I get to see if all my research I did was right or fucking wrong, dude. You know, it's as simple as that. And that's why this stuff is fun, because you know, you're making money at the same time, but you're also growing as a trader, you know, because trust me, whatever you're making now is nothing compared to what you're going to be making in the future, because you're going to be much more smarter. You're already smart now, but man, just imagine if we get everything right, you know, from here on out. Wow. It's going to be amazing coming into the bear market for the next cycle. And it is the Shemitah cycle. The next cycle will have a Shemitah ending, which is not very pretty. Right? So you can expect some banks to collapse in the next cycle, some exchanges to go down. Oh yeah, it's coming. But that's later, guys. That's a lot later. Now let's put my pyramid back together. Boom. Boom. And we're back. All right. So let's talk about some other stuff. There's your Bitcoin news for the day. 2000. I mean, I can't believe 107, 108 for 2-3 for the whole weekend straight. I mean, just stagnant. Crazy. Oh. What is this saying? Trump just signed the big beautiful bill. Here's why XRP and XLM. Oh yeah. Here's why XRP and XLM were built for this moment. Prominent crypto commentator Stella Rippler published a comprehensive analysis of the major legislation President Donald Trump signed this week, arguing that it marks a decisive step forward toward the long-anticipated financial reset. Holy moly spicoli. He is so right, because the financial reset is coming in 2028. It is absolutely here. Referring to it as one big beautiful bill, Stella Rippler characterized the package as Trump's largest spending and tax initiative to date. On its surface, the bill appears to promote growth and strengthen national priorities. Fuck all that. However, Stella Rippler maintained that it is designed to deliberately accelerate the collapse of the outdated monetary system for a new blockchain-based infrastructure to emerge with XRP and XLM at its core. Oh, yeah. According to the thread, the bill includes permanent tax cuts, sharp reductions in Medicaid and food stamp funding. We all know what that does. Look at my last stream. It fucking wipes out the middle class. Record high allocations for border security and a quiet restructuring of fiscal oversight alongside trillions of dollars added to the debt ceiling. Beautiful. That means we're printing more money. And every time we print trillions of dollars like that, Bitcoin goes parabolic for its final fucking bull run. I mean, while Trump publicly presented the measure as an effort to restore the economy and empower Americans, Stella Rippler asserted that the underlying goal is to hasten the end of the current financial order to replace it on terms favorable to U.S. sovereignty. Stellar noted that prominent figures including Elon Musk, Senator Rand Paul, and some Republican lawmakers criticized the bill on fiscal and ethical grounds. Critics pointed to $2.8 trillion in permanent tax cuts, disproportionately benefiting the wealthiest 10%, $850 billion in Medicaid and food stamps cuts over the next decade. That's a lot of people that are going to die early because you've raised the level of their prescriptions, their insulin, their Medicare for seniors, all this. Those motherfuckers, god damn it. And an estimated $6.4 trillion added to the national debt by 2035. The bill also funds expanded border surveillance and rolls back long-standing fiscal oversight mechanisms. Despite these concerns, Stellar dismissed the idea that Trump is unaware of the risks, describing the policy as intentional and calculated. In his view, Trump is not destroying the system to harm the United States, but to rebuild it using infrastructure already in place, specifically highlighting Bitcoin, Ripple, and Stellar Technologies. Is that true? Did that come from fucking, Orange Man's mouth? Is that fucking true? XRP, RLUSD, and XLM as strategic tools. You know about the dippy of XLM and XRPizzle, man. Ripple, he noted, is uniquely positioned to meet this demand, operating a private ledger for central banks and a public ledger for broader use. So like XRP is for the banks, Ripple is going to be for your average civilian, money transferring, like XLM could be like the new MoneyGram type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. The commentator describes Ripple's XRP and RLUSD as critical to ensuring that the United States maintains control of the emerging global financial system, as opposed to ceding influence to competing solutions such as IMF digital assets or gold-backed BRICS currencies. He also highlighted the role of Stellar's XLM as an international bridge asset. Stellar's infrastructure, already integrated in Africa and Asia, all allows U.S. denominated remittances, god damn, fuck these words, to flow into markets where banking systems are failing, like the United States of America. Hoorah, fucking A. He also highlighted the role of Stellar X as it's a fast, low-cost, and decentralized network that provides stability and liquidity to weaker economies while maintaining U.S. technological control over cross-border flows. Whew. Expanding into healthcare and tokenization. Whoa, healthcare. In his analysis, Stellar also drew attention to related developments beyond finance. He connected Trump's cuts to Medicaid and food stamp funding with the emergence of blockchain-based healthcare solutions such as XRP Healthcare. What? XRP Healthcare? Sign me up. And DNA Protocol. These projects aim to provide decentralized medical services, biometric identification, and encrypted health records while enabling global instant payments for healthcare claims. As public healthcare systems weaken, he suggested these blockchain-based alternatives could fill the gap in a way that is more efficient and user-controlled. Yeah. Sounds good and all, but man, to me, it's a fucking, like they said, it's an infrastructure takeover, a revolution where we reface the whole infrastructure of America, the way we transfer, the way we work, the way we keep filings. Blockchain is the answer to all of that, right? Blockchain is all of that in one. You can token gate everything, and you can keep files encrypted and everything. It's all there. And it's a ledger. It's all there. It works by itself, right? So The commentator also referenced the upcoming July 14th ISO implementation and recent moves by Ripple, including its application for a U.S. banking charter, the tokenization of U.S. debt on the XRP ledger through Ondo. Ondo! And its strengthened global partnerships. He pointed to Stellar's leadership in stablecoin adoption and tokenization efforts in emerging markets as further evidence that both networks are already functioning as critical components of the new monetary system, which also means the new world order. All right, I need a smoke break. Oh, fuck yeah. Yes, the new monetary system, which is also called, yes, you know it, the New World Order. That is right. And you and I, we're all a part of the New World Order. I don't know where I'm going with that. Prepared for a coordinated reset. Dude, they're literally telling you. We're about to have a revolution and it will be televised, you son of a bitch. Stellar concluded that his thread by characterizing these developments as a coordinated transition, according to his view. The things are all set. XRP is made to pump. According to his view, the signing of Trump's bill sets the stage for a deliberate reset of the financial system, leveraging U.S.-built blockchain infrastructure. XRP and XLM, he argued, were never intended merely as speculative assets for bullish markets, but as foundational infrastructure for a redesigned global economy. It's true. And now that XRP has gone through all that bullshit with the courts, I mean, for years and years and years, it was nade. Now it's got the pass to be a part of the Illuminati. Damn, I love this shit. You know, that was its invitation. And now they're invited, and now they will flourish. XRP will go to the top, along with its little fucking nutsack XLM. XRP is for the banks, XLM is for the people. Alright. He maintained that the bill's fiscal measures, combined with the readiness of Ripple and Stellar networks, demonstrate how the United States is prepared to lead the world into tokenized decentral financial future. You know, they could write all they want, but so is any other blockchain. You know, you have to understand at the end of the day, it's narrative, okay? And they select who they want to be a part of the narrative and a part of the world, the New World Order. right? Ripple and XRP they never changed their scripts ever since I came into crypto. They've always been on the banking side of things. Always. They weren't trying to go here or there. They was always focused on the infrastructure of banking transfers. Ripple, right? I give them credit. You know, from a different perspective point of view, they've always been consistent with what they've been trying to do, and it is true. They deserve that spot, right? If you want to play along with the narrative. All right. Demonstrate how the United States is prepared to lead the world in a tokenized, decentralized finance future. Like, what if there's XRP, like, trading like a fucking whole exchange they do in America? You know what I'm saying? What if they brand a fucking trading corporation or something? It's possible. I mean, okay, that was a very interesting article. I actually like that. Look at this, more XRP news. XRP whales alert. 2 Hyperliquid. And Hyperliquid, shout out to Brandon. Hyperliquid, they got Hyperliquid down there, bro. It's that shit. Hyperliquid is what it is. It's Hyperliquid. There's a lot of liquidity in Hyperliquid. Like, so there's a lot of trading going down there with leveraging and this and that. 2 Hyperliquid whales just took a bullish action on XRP. When was this written? July 6th today. A recent post by crypto analyst, whatever this, Safe, has sent waves through the XRP community, revealing a bold and calculated move by 2 whale traders. These investors operating on the decentralized derivatives exchange Hyperliquid have opened a combined 2.17 million on a 20x leverage long on XRP. Yo, that is so fucking degenerate. Holy shit. Entering the market at over 2.24 per token. Fuck. That's, I mean, that is some confidence right there. What do you know that I think a lot of us know? Why the Hyperliquid whale activity matters. Hyperliquid is quickly becoming a hotspot for large, on-chain leveraged positions. Whales on the platform have made headlines before the massive bets across top-tier cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, motherfucker. Now the attention is turned to XRP, one of the few digital assets, the real-world utility and enterprise adoption. Dude, look how everyone describes XRP. They make it sound so elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this a script that they're giving everybody in the crypto world? How do you say this name? XAIFS? Saif's report highlights that these whales are not gambling. Instead, they appear to be executing a very high conviction strategy based on market signals, historical behavior, and possibly insight into macro or regulatory developments. With 2.117 million in exposure at 20x leverage, these traders are effectively betting on a major price surge. Any small move upward could yield enormous returns. Holy shit. Holy shit. What would happen if he took that out? Holy fuck. They're expecting a major move. XRP breakout incoming. XRP open long. What? Technical outlook suggests a breakout is near. XRP has been trading in a tight range between 220 and 230, repeatedly testing resistance around 230. Historically, similar periods of consolidation have preceded significant breakouts, especially when accompanied by large whale activity. Just weeks ago, whales accumulated more than 780 million in XRP before prices surged, providing a striking precedent. A breakout above 230, especially on strong trading volume, would confirm bullish momentum for sure. If we get those huge volume bars, right? Let's go to XR motherfucking P. Shlablamo. We get those huge fucking volume bars that come along with on the Mac motherfucking Dizzle. Ooh, that is a nice little motherfucking recovery for XLM right there. That's little bro. That's little bro XLM. He's a tough guy. He's a fucking tough guy. He'll smack you up. He'll backhand you like a little bitch. Smack! And here's big bro XRP looking like a little Bart Simpson. Ready to break out with the reversal. With the DDT reversal. Like whap. Now if that ain't a reversal, I don't know what is, son. I tried to tell him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're expecting a bigger breakout for XRP. From what I've seen and heard and all that, and look at that. That's a beautiful, here's a weekly. We're looking at the weekly, and look at that stochastic RSI starting from the bottom. Now we're here. And I like the direction and angle of that. That is nice. Looks a little violent. So that's really good. Now let's take a look at the monthly. And look at that break the skirt. The stopping of the momentum from being bum rushed down, and just to do that over the 4th of July, where motherfuckers are taking breaks, you know what I mean? We're not, you know what I mean? They're checking out. And not lose its range. In fact, even just recover and pump more a little bit, which is wild. That to me is very bullish. And we're coming to the end of this channel here, and we're kind of due, whether it's next week or the week after, or, you know, any part of this July month, right, would fulfill this box. And we could definitely see a potential breakout in this month. That is a market reversal, bam. And like I said, the RSI weekly looks incredible. The monthly, it took a break right at the $50 mark, or the 50 range. Again though, blue line is above. Crazy. I've never seen, I mean, that's a crazy formation right there. What the fuck? I mean, the blue line technically crossed over, so that, but it's flat. Like, that is so weird to me. Be interesting. Let's look at the 3-month. The 3-month is, the blue line is peaked, and the yellow line has some room to join it. And what could happen if we are going to have that bullish activity is these two are going to converge at the top and stay up there maybe for one candle, like a month. This is a 3 month. Oh, no, excuse me. Right, we could reach back here. If we do reach that bullishness, I mean, fuck. But yeah, what happens usually, it is only shown in at the 3 month. And that's why it is like this, because it is super bullish. Okay, so I got to remember, this is the 3 month chart, right? So for this yellow line to reach that, that would mean that's one movement up would be 3 months, right? So the blue line is already slammed up there. There's a chance that the blue line could stay up there for one more month and wait for this yellow line to catch up. And that's how we're going to see this crazy price movement, probably. Well, at least on the 3 month chart. Let's go to the daily. The daily is in the upper region of the stochastic, which is, you know, a strong momentum. And it looks like it wants to stay up there and hang out. Right? Overall, the weekly to me stands out. Because the weekly to me tells us what we're going to go through, right? And to have the weekly pointing straight up, right? To just have that acute angle and bounce over that yellow line like that and tell it to like, yo, catch up with me. That's a very bullish signal. When that bounce happens like that and it's to the upside, very acute, that's strong. That's a strong signal. Okay, especially on a weekly, right? And then the monthly is showing that the bullish or the momentum to the downside, the side, got slammed, and we took some breaks on the bearish movement. And now the bulls have come in right at the 50-yard line, and we're like, nah, bitch, XRP for life, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And now it's a battle. Literally, right at the 50-yard line, dude. The battle between good and evil. And that's what it looks like in price action right here. And look at that, XRP just holding strong to this trend line that we have. Now let's see what. We could do a retest. What can happen here? Two things can happen here, right? Right now we're struggling to bounce above this trend line, right? What needs to happen is we need to make a candle that goes up, right, to this level, top of the box again, come down and actually occupy that zone and then break out, right? So here's the next. That's why I did that. And that's what could happen. You know, and here's scenario number 2. We come up, we test, we lose again, we break down, and then we bounce. And then, you know, we grab the liquidity back up here, we zone, and then we go. Right? So it's up to the, you know, and how do we go back and tell? Like, we just go back to the weekly, okay, for 7 days. You know, we can maybe expect a very bullish week. You know, if this blue line extends out, go back to the daily. that means 7 more days could be green. Because I'm only saying that because of this blue line just going straight up like, whoa. You know what I mean? That's a mean move to the upside on momentum and money and volume coming in. And we're hearing so much news on XRP. Well, if you ask me, I feel like it. It's like, let's go look at CoinMarketCap. Where's XRP on the list? XR Pizzle. Number 2, motherfuckers. Yo, no, this thing's going $10, dog. This motherfucker going to 10 motherfucking dollars. I mean, so what? Is there a lot of bonk FOMO right now? Is there humongous bonk FOMO? Jesus Christ, what is bonk doing up here? What the fuck's going on? Yo. Bonk? Bonkers is back. Bonk is back. Look at Bonk with a fucking crazy recovery. That's crazy. I need, when was this made? October 2023. Going back to the top of Bonk would be a 5x if you bought that dip. If you bought it right here. Right now you're sitting on 1.5x to the top to one of these. 318, that's a 3x. So Bonk could be a meme coin that goes off possibly. Look at Bonk, right? Like when you look at Bonk, actually, the narrative for Bonk, it was like one of those airdrop tokens in the beginning. People made money off of it, this and that. And it was like the trade bot or whatever, right, for Solana. But if you really look at the price action for Bonk compared to all these other slutty fucking meme coins, like Bonk, dude, looks prime, like nothing is going on here. Now, when you throw in the rush of everyone taking in their Bitcoin profits and going into the altcoin season, look at Bonk, dude. I mean, you can't even... This thing's a fucking baby here. Now, I don't know. I don't know when Bonk was made. You know what I mean? But this apparently says 2023, and I do believe maybe it was made around then. I don't know. I feel like that's when I ran into Bonk, around 2023, maybe 22. Can't remember. XRP is number 4. Wow. And look at BNB. BNB is the true, I mean, it's incredible. XRP market cap 134. It's about to flip Tether, which is wild. XRP is on its way to flip the Tether. Wow. And it's coming for Ethereum next. Like, dude, XRP has the hype, right? It's crazy. Like, I'm just talking from a non coin worshiper, but when I take a look at the field and take a look at all the crypto armies, right? The Shiba, XRP, nobody's talking about BNB army, but XRP army seems to be the new wave. Like when Shiba army came, you know what I mean? Shiba army was whoa, that's a fucking thing. Or the Pepe gang. Yo, the XRP gang is crazy. And I think it's got the most momentum, right? going into like a bull run scenario, I think XRP, like if we want to talk about retail, right? Fuck the institutions. Like, let's talk about retail interest, right? XRP is the coin coming out of that retail guy. Should I buy XRP? Yeah, hell yeah, you should buy XRP, you fucking idiot. I'm just kidding, but, you know, I'm just giving you an example. That's what the new guys are saying. Like, XRP is the one. I think it has the most retail buzz and, like, IQ. It's in the retail's IQ area, you know, in the arena. It's XRP. It's definitely Solana for any new guy coming in. Like Solana, in fact, Solana is the fucking first thing that new guys are going to buy, which is crazy to me that it's only 81. And let me tell you about this institutional money that buys. You're probably wondering if there's so much institutional money buying. Why is the price action so fucking low still? You know what I mean? It's because a lot of the institutional buys are done under the table. It's just like any other business, dude. You know what I mean? People are always trying to get deals on fucking tokens and shit. So, you know, I'm just talking about retail. If the massive herd of retail were to come in, what are the top coins that they're like saying in their IQ? Like that retail IQ, which is very low, right? But they're definitely saying Solana and XRP. And if you're any new person like buying crypto, those are probably the ones that you've probably heard. You know what I'm saying? And it's no wonder that Solana is number 6, XRP is number 4, right? When the massive blow off top or the herd, that final euphoric phase of crypto comes, which is probably going to be the last 5 months of crypto, or 3 months, right? Where these huge gains are made, just like month by month. We're just going up and up to the blow off top, and then the bear market comes, right? But you got to understand, when that money floods the market, it's coming to all these coins. It's coming to all these coins, guys. Right? That's where the market goes. So if you're a new guy and you're like, oh, I don't know what to buy. Dude, just put your head here, go to coinmarket.com and look at it, right? Here's the market cap right here, right? Just think about it. Billions of dollars are coming in. You know, look at Bitcoin Cash at 13. Like, who the fuck? Like, Bitcoin Cash. I'm a proud holder, I must admit. This video is not sponsored by Bitcoin Cash or anything like that. Nah, but I love my Bitcoin Cash buy. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy, dude. Bitcoin Cash, nobody, like the owner already left, is doing other projects. It just, that's the beauty of crypto. It all automates and runs by itself. You know what I mean? But Bitcoin Cash is kind of like a Western Union thing for Bitcoin. I don't know if it has any kind of nerve. It probably doesn't. But bro, boy, it's been moving and grooving. Hyperliquid. Cardano is a sleeper. Look at Tron at 28 cents, dude. I remember looking at Tron. Bro, Tron was like 8 cents just a couple years ago. And there was so much FUD around the owner. Man, all I know is anytime you hear FUD, buy that shit. Yo, anytime you hear some bullshit, all right, that doesn't go for everything. But if you hear some like headline shit, I'm not talking about your, you know, NFT project that you want to invest in. If you hear FUD, no, if you hear FUD, sell that shit. But if you hear FUD and like big headline fucking like crypto guys, buy that shit. That shit moons after. That shit moons after the FUD. It's crazy. Stellar XLM. Shiba. Is Shiba Inu coming back? Shibu's on top of Litecoin. Wow, that's crazy. That's pretty crazy. Pepe down here at 28. Okay, let's see who's in the top 50. Near Protocol, ICP. So there's a lot of people that talk about ICP. What do you guys think about ICP? Kronos at 8 cents. Honda, World Liberty. Caspa's in the 40 spot. Wow. Bonk is at 45. I'm holding Quant. Word. Here's Quant at 60. And it's at 107. Now, I thought it recently did a pump. Look at, see, I've been reading Cardano. Let's see what Cardano does, because it's trying to fulfill, it's been fulfilling this wedge pattern, right? And it's got 1, 2 bounces here. Will it come for another? Or, you know, will it lose? Come down here and then bounce out. Let me look at the weekly. Whoa, yeah, this thing got extended. So this looks like it's gonna go down more. Whew. At least maybe to the bottom of the channel again. Maybe it goes down to 50 cents. And AVAX looking weak. All the altcoins look. Did AVAX find its bottom with a double bottom right here? That would be very, very good for AVAX. BCH doing its little correction. Finally got above though. It's got to hold this channel. It looks great. Looks fucking beautiful. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum made its way up, trying to hold this level. Could be making a wedge pattern to the downside. Or it could be getting above it actually. It looks strong. Go to the monthly. Oh, Ethereum looks super strong. Ethereum looks like it's about to go to the next level. Yep. Look at that RSI bottomed out at the 0 right there. That's how you knew that was a significant point. That is a very right at the 0 mark. See that, boys? I mean, this is the bottom of oversold. This is the definition of oversold. And you got it right there. Now, we have all this room to get to the upside, to 80%. Wow, this is poised for a nice swing to the upside, guys. On the month, for the month of July. Looks very strong. Bring it back to the week. It's holding its spot here. Bring it back to the daily. Daily, we have downward momentum. So it's definitely going to fiddle around here in this zone and try to hold structure on that brown line, which is what? 2,400. $23. That's a V-shaped fucking recovery bounce, dude. Those are bullish as fuck. And it did go above the trend. Right on. It's like, this is how I see it. Like, here was the trend line, right? Then we got above it. But then we need to remember how strong this trend line, this brown level right here, how much we bounced and held there too, right? So this blue line, when we started bouncing off the blue line and it threw us into the brown line, we bounced right here because of this little fucking tadpole. Boom, recovered that liquidity, bounced up, bounced off the brownie again. And now we're going to play around in this zone, right? What could happen is we could play around in the zone, right? And just come right back down. But we have, it looks like that, you know, on the weekly or monthly RSI, we are poised for a very bullish month of Ethereum. I mean, that spike, that acute angle, that's called turning the corner. That is violent. At the zero mark means so much, right? It means so much because look what it did at the zero mark right here. Look what it did. Look above you. It went from down here, zero, oversold, completely oversold, just like this wick right here, just like this wick right here, right? Boom. And this is a very strong recovery right here, okay? If we didn't have this recovery, right, and this candle was below this dotted line, oh my God, Ethereum would be dead in the fucking water. It'd be crypto, altcoins, no altcoin season or anything. But the fact that Ethereum over the 4th of July has maintained this position, just like XRP and just like everything else, Bitcoin as well, like it's crazy how strong the money flow is. I want to show you the Bitcoin money flow. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm just making shit up. No, I'm just kidding. But here's the money flow for Bitcoin. Where's my Bitcoin chart? Here we go. So the money flow is this green line, right? The money flow is so strong, dude. Look, all it's been doing is it's been keep going up. I've been looking at it for like 3 months and it just keeps going up, dude. You know what I mean? So to me, when I see that, it gives me so much like confidence in the market of we're still buying Bitcoin and the market's still being fulfilled, right? And so what did I do? Knowing that, I said to myself, well, let's go look at the past money flow markets of the last bull runs. The bull run peaks, to be exact. Let's start here. The bull run peak, market top, new all-time high of 2016. This is what it looks like. You come down all the way down, bring your cursor all the way down, boom. That point, that angle, that hill, that is the beginning and the end. Woo! That is the beginning and the end right there. It's the end of the bear market. The bull market. And it's the beginning. Now let me get a dot. Let's dot it. Let's dot it. Let's dot it. Boom. Oh, shit. How do we do this? There you go. Okay? Boom, right there. That is the beginning of the bear market and the end of the bull market. Right there. Okay? Let's go to the second. Let's go to last cycle's bull market. Okay? Now this one was tough because it's double pump fake out. Hit you with the Kobe double pump. Whoop, whoop. It got you. Right? You had 2 times to cash out. But if you didn't know about the cycle, you didn't know where the fuck you were. You thought this thing was going to just keep going up and up and up. No, you didn't know that every 4 cycles, every 4 years, 1 year is a bear market. A 13-month bear market. Another 13-month bear market. Right? So let's look at what could have done here is let's mark 2 tops. Okay? So come here to the market top here. Boom. Look at that. Right at the tip. Right there. Boom. Then there's your second top right there. Let's go down. Boom. Right there. Okay. So now we have those marked. One here. One there. We see the angle of it. And now what do? I go and I get the height. The height of volume. Right? Not the volume, but the actual height of the money flow. Right? That will give us a good idea of where we need to look to reach our maximum capacity of money flow. Okay, for the bull run. So this red line right here. Just to be fair, I put it underneath that, but the top of the middle. So it kind of averages out, right? And here, this green line is where we're at now. Right? And my timeline has us right here. January. End of December. Okay? You tell me, does that not look like we're about to print the biggest, fattest candles to get to this blow off fucking top so we could sell all of our fucking crypto because it's fucking shit after that? I don't know, guys. I'm just, I don't know shit. I just fucking... I'm like a receiver. I'm like an antenna. Whatever they send me, I just start doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't have I don't know. But whatever I do is on par and seems to be working consistently for a long time now. So... and it's a mixture of charts, indicators, right? And just geometry and like figures and patterns and Shit like that. You know, like look at this. Every time we have a fucking bull run, like the Bollinger Bands on the monthly chart, they drop when we get to this euphoric stage, which is the stage that we're all waiting for, which is the tail end of the pi cycle, right? The tail end of the bull run. And once we get that euphoric big wave up to that last, market top for the all-time high of that cycle, well, when we create those 3 candles to the upside, what happens with the Bollinger Bands is they fall down. And it's happened every fucking time. Here, boom, 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 boom. Right, here's the bull run. Market top. As soon as we start going, falls down. Here's the last bull run. As soon as we start flowing to the upside for the market finale, the Bollinger Band, what does it do? It just, boom, drops to the floor. Look at that. Every fucking time. Okay? Now, this is a signal that I've been waiting for the Bollinger to make its little indentation. So we can, as soon as we haven't made those candles yet, guys. You know what I mean? We haven't made these. Look at these volume. I told you at the beginning of this video, when we get towards the end, you will know it's the end. Because we will start making these channels that are smaller and narrower and taller. And these uprises are going to be happening in shorter periods of time. I mean, we're not experiencing that. We're not experiencing that. So once that happens, what is going to happen on the monthly chart is this Bollinger Band is going to turn its head as soon as the first fat candle is made, followed by the next one. And then we're going to see this drop happening. And once you see that drop happening, guys, man, you're not defying gravity at that point, okay? Because this is going to go down, and the price action is going to go all the way the fuck up. And this is how you get that bullish Bollinger Band signal, right? But to be honest, we need that shit now. You know what I mean? We need that shit now. Why does ETH drive the altcoins? I don't know. ETH is just the altcoin master. ETH is OG, you know what I mean? But it's different. ETH doesn't really... I wouldn't necessarily say ETH drives the altcoins. You know? It's the Bitcoin dominance and, you know... And you know, the altcoin market is so broad and vast. I don't know if that makes sense. It's so, like, big that it's getting so spread out that, you know, different sectors of altcoins are having their own altcoin season. Do you understand what I mean by that? So it's not necessarily like every altcoin just explodes. No, there's certain sectors that explode during the midst of the rising of, you know, the accumulation phase of Bitcoin. There's altcoins that have bull runs, like 50x's and 10x's and 12x's. You know what I mean? You know, there's the gaming sector, there's AI, all this shit. It all happens. So, like, and ETH doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, that's my opinion. Things just move, man. The market's so big. Like, And you just got to be there or you're not. It's either you're there or you're not, you know? It's either your head's in the game or you're not. Whatever time you put in, it all adds up. And rip everything and take your profits. Speaking of Ethereum, right? The price of Ethereum put up a strong resurgent performance in the subsequent 3 months. Yes, we see. While its price has somewhat slowed in recent weeks, the acclaimed king of altcoins is in much better position than it was 3 months ago. However, Ethereum's recently found position seems to be at risk, according to the latest on-chain revelation. Recent data shows that ETH investors seem to be moving their tokens away from long-term storage and rather onto centralized trading platforms. Why? Because maybe these centralized trading platforms offer more yield? I don't know. In a quick take post on the CryptoQuant platform on-chain analysis, Borsvest shared that the Ethereum reserves on Binance, the world's largest exchange by trading volume, have been swelling over the past few weeks, according to the Crypto Pundit. The exchange now holds over 4% of ETH's total circulating supply. Data from CryptoQuant shows that the Ethereum reserves on Binance has not risen to this level since May 2023. Typically, the flow of ETH tokens to centralized exchanges, which usually offer trading services, suggests that the assets are being positioned to be offloaded or sold into the open market. Hence, the recent surge in Ethereum reserves on Binance is a bear signal for the price of ETH, as it signals impending selling pressure. This means that this trend could exacerbate an ongoing price correction or trigger the beginning of downward price movement. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Ethereum looks good for the month, I'll tell you that. I mean, Ethereum looks amazing for the month. You're not going to tell me no. It's just, it looks beautiful. Cardano's perfect storm, oversold, RSI, 90% ETF approval odds, and $2 ADA price tag. As Cardano's consolidation intensifies, the 10th largest cryptocurrency based on market capitalization might be eyeing more than 120% increase. Calling out this development, leading market analyst Javon Marks pointed out ADA, fairly fresh off of a recent breakout, still looks to be on track to have a significant upside move in the works. Consisting of an over 120% surge, we continue to target $2. This guy might be onto something. Hey, you know what? This fucking guy might be onto something. I like his little fucking chart he drew here. Look at that little thing, huh? You know what? This guy might be onto something. Put the long in. Put the long in for ADA. Let's go. Crypto analyst Lingrid is of a similar opinion that Cardano is gearing up for a bullish run as price continues to hold the 55-cent steadily 0.56 zone. She noted ADA is testing a strong support zone after a prolonged downtrend showing early signs of potential reversal. The price is stabilizing around 55 to 56, a zone that previously acted as a base for bullish impulse. A breakout above the descending target line could push price toward 0.68, 0.70 in the short term. That's a nice swing trade. At the time of writing, Cardano was sitting at 58 with a daily trading volume of 353 million. Cardano's open interest goes through the roof. Cardano future traders have staked over 723 million in open interest, signaling growing conviction despite just a 0.99% daily uptick. According to CoinGlass data, with favorable funding rates and leveraged positioning, the Cardano market sentiment is showing optimism. This is because more traders, especially institutional investors, are entering ADA futures, signaling deeper market engagement. Therefore, the uptick in Cardano futures OI reflects significant confidence from large investors and traders betting on future price appreciation, which is being fueled by ecosystem growth, speculative momentum, and technical triggers. For instance, Cardano is already in oversold conditions given the relative strength. RSI has dropped to the 23 level, indicating that an uptrend may be on the horizon. Meanwhile, Bloomberg analysts recently speculated that the Cardano ETF approval rate stood at 90%. I mean, that is bullish. That is very bullish for Cardano. Okay. As far as news goes, right? As far as news goes, that is very bullish for Cardano. And as far as charts go, Cardano, you know, for me, is just fulfilling this wedge here, right? It just got to bounce off the bounce zone, which usually when you do bounce off this zone, we've had some big movements in the past, right? Last time we bounced here, 51. 50 cents to 86 cents, right? It's a big movement. Now what they're saying is it could go back up to this wedge, which is also what? The Bollinger Band, the blue line on the Bollinger Band. So it could come back up to around 68 cents. That'd be a nice, you know, scalp swing, little swingy. But the truth is, when will Cardano break out from the wedge? That's the real, you know, that's what we really want to see. Unless we get a really fat movement. I mean, if they're talking about $2, talking about right here, boom. Cardano $2 is right over here, boom. And that would definitely have to be a breakout of the wedge. You know, you could do that here, like boom, bounce off there. But look how we did it back here. Very quick. 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks until we hit the all-time high. Let's see this last one. 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, until we hit that high right there. And I don't mean the all-time high, the local high, excuse me. Right? So that was 9 weeks. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of bullishness. Right. So if we do get out of here, what kind of activity will we get? Will we get that, you know, that artificial like boom, 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 and we're gone for like a whole month straight going up for 1 month? Because that's what we did here. Isn't that crazy? The market does weird things to your body when you just keep going up for 1 month straight. It's got you just dreaming of crypto heaven. Like it's never gonna stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are very similar. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I think Cardano has got time. You know what I mean? I see the Bollinger Band going to the downside. I see us going, hitting this blue line right here and actually bouncing down again because we're not really in that mode yet. But when we hit this line, the winning zone right here, the real winner right here for Cardano, if you're trying to get some, is this super macro trend line. It's shown us that the biggest fucking trades have come from this zone, right? On this trend line. So really, the real trade for Cardano, you know what I mean, is waiting for Cardano to drop more, right? To fulfill this wedge. 9 times out of 10 it does. And to come down here and retest this support and hopefully lose it. Oh, and then that's when you buy the Cardano for altcoin season. You know what I mean? Because look, the best trades come from this trend line, dude. The best trades. Okay? Brandon White, I like your questions. I like these questions. These are good questions for ChatGPT. All right, so I'm going to literally, right? I'm going to literally copy that question. Why is there a 12-week, isn't that like an 85-day something delay, right? Or some shit. Why is there a 12-week delay between the M2 supply and BTC? I'm just trying to learn. I even added that. So, give me the reasons why. Oh man, that's hilarious. And also, I want to see the Bitcoin. Also, teach me how to open and overlay both on TradingView. Bitch. Alright, let's go. Great question. You're digging into macro fundamentals in this one. The 12-week delay lag between M2 money supply and Bitcoin's price reaction is a key concept for serious crypto investors. Let's break it down. Why there's a 12-week delay between M2 supply and BTC price. First, what is M2? M2 equals a measure of the total money supply that includes physical cash, checking deposits, saving accounts, money market accounts. It's a signal of how much money is circulating, often influenced by Federal Reserve actions, interest rates, quantitative easing and tightening. Okay, so why the 12-week lag? Here are the main reasons for the delay between a change in M2 and BTCs. No. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. Investor reaction time. Institutions and retail traders don't respond instantly. People need time to analyze inflation, policy shifts, and M2 trends. BTC is still considered a risk-on asset, so money doesn't flow into it immediately. That's bullshit. Liquidity takes time to hit markets. When M2 rises, more liquidity. That cash first goes into bonds, stocks, banks, real estate. Crypto tends to receive money after those sectors start moving. Confirmation bias and market sentiment. Traders often wait for confirmation of direction. They may need a few weeks of positive or negative economic data before reacting confidently. Delayed reporting. M2 data from the Fed is published weekly, but often with a lag in adjustments. By the time it's released and processed, price reaction is delayed even more. Macro cycle alignment. BTC doesn't move on one signal, it waits for rate decisions. Okay, whatever. I think it kind of took our question word for word. Stupid fucking AI. Open trading view. Load Bitcoin chart. Yep. Choose. Yep. Add M2 data. Click compare. M2SL. Fred. Okay. Here we go. Trading view. Let me get a Bitcoin chart up here. BTC. You my only friend. Yeah, bitch. Oh, I have this chart already going. Oh, look at what I drew here. Look at that. That's that head and shoulders inverted. And then it does a little hump to dump. Look at that. Listen, if you know anything about me, the lines never lie. All right, I'm out. Let's go to the Kraken. All right, we'll go to Kraken. And then let's put the, what did they say? Or, boom, compare Fred. He said Fred, right? Fuck. M2SL. Oh shit, here we go. Is that it? What is this? Is this right? I don't think I did that right. Fuck. I'm trying to overlay it. Does it have to be a line? Can't be candles? That shit is black. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna have to figure that out for next time. Oh yeah, but I'm from Tennessee, so you can add the accent too if you want. You're fucking hilarious, dude. Hey, you're a very, very funny guy. You know what I mean? You're a very, very funny guy. You're a very funny. You are from Tennessee, I know it, but I am not there. I am not a Tennessean. I am not a Tennessean. Look at the total market cap. total 3. Very interesting stuff going on over here. US ISM Purchasing Managers Index is still yet to explode. So we are not there yet. We're not quite there yet. Right. Here is December 29th. You know, at that point, crypto's trash. It's just like the fucking, gift wrap on your presents. What do you do with that? You throw it in the trash. All right, so you gotta sell all your crypto before it becomes trash. But here we are. We're looking at a perfect. Look at this. 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 Look at this here. Heary. So when we do have like a bull market, usually like this chart will peak up to these areas right here. Right? Because like every 4 years is like right here. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So we're waiting to peak up. And I'm expecting that to happen by the end of the year. Golly. What the fuck is going on? So yeah, the bull runs are definitely extended. Shit's extended. It's absolutely extended. Let's look at our dear old friend, Mr. Shitcoin himself, the Kronos token. Biggest shit token you've ever seen. So, already on the weekly, momentum has been rushing to the downside. That's why you see those 3 weekly candles pouring down, right? Breaking the trend line, losing the trend line, right? Losing that universal macro bounce zone where the best trades, the best part of waking up. I think you can't hear me. I said the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. God damn, that's sexy. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Mentos, the fresh maker. Alright, so yeah, the Crow. Let's talk about shit tokens. Let's talk about Crow. So this universal trend line has lost its balls. 1 bounce, whop. 2 bounce, whop. Dude, it is struggling. Ooh. It's never been held up so much and struggled. To be honest, it's due. It's been due for a bump, So we'll see what happens. I don't know what is going to bring any kind of money to this token. Right? Has nothing going on. But what's this? I do like that. That looks pretty cool. It could be a market turnaround. Meow. I don't know. But, you know, like I said, I'm not a news guy, so I don't depend on news. If the chart says something, I actually listen to it. Right. So, it's very possible that Kronos could be. Well, what it's doing is it's actually ranging in a box channel. Right? From this to that. Boom. And that is the range of the trading channel. Right? What would be resistance? It's right here. The middle of the channel. WAP. Guapo. Bada bing, bada boom, boom. Okay. So it is struggling to get above and build a candle up above that blue line where it can just hold itself, right? It's got to get the fuck out of here because I don't know how you explain these bounces. These bounces are so artificial. So it didn't bounce this time. It lost its trend line. So now, what's crazy is, wow. This universal bounce zone, which used to have the biggest trades come out of there, is now resistance. Wow. That is so bearish. It's not even funny. The universal trend line, that's like saying Bitcoin. Bitcoin's universal trend line is now bearish. That used to pop. You know what I mean? But some might say that that's one way to look at it, right? But another way to look at it is like, yo, this is a good buying zone. Right? So, you know, and at that point, you know, you're talking about, well, who else wants to bring money to Kronos? Who else wants to bring money to Kronos and why? Why? What would be the catalyst to drive people here? Because as you can see, I mean, cryptocurrency and winning is all about numbers. And if we go to Dex Screener right now and go to Kronos, well, today, the 24-hour volume is barely $2 million. That's very, very bad. Right? I mean, let's look at Polygon. Even Polygon, right? Even Polygon, which is shit fucked on the floor right now, brings in $72 million every day. Average. Kronos struggles to get above 2 million every day because there's nothing over there. There's nothing being built. The developers are the same guys that were rugging you from 4 years ago. I mean, there's absolutely nothing going on. That block is so small. I know every fucking house on that block, and I know all the shitty owners too. Right? That's how small it is. When you have so many other chains here, like Solana, that's bringing in 9.84 billion every day. crazy, okay? I mean, just insane. You got the base chain bringing in 606 million. You got Avalanche that's on the floor right now, bringing in 70 million. Kronos is absolutely on the floor. But those guys are bringing in that much money because they actually have some infrastructure. But Kronos, what do they have? Not much. I don't know. They got some shitty fucking coins, right? The one cool thing from Kronos that came out in 2024 was Ka. And if you were a Kronos OG, you got a fat ass airdrop and you got blessed. Shout out to Ka. Shout out to the Crows. That was an amazing investment that I did 4 years ago. So, you know, in order to have people come to a blockchain, you have to have something built there that brings people. Solana is a fucking meme coin casino, dude. You got all these fucking exchanges built on there, you know, and they all coincide and work with each other. This is a strong chain with lots of utility with the coin that people are making money off of. That's why they have constant rotation and transactions every day. You know what I'm saying? So at one point in time, Kronos did have that. I have the videos to prove it. And I talked to a lot of those devs, you know, and I've learned a lot in it. And you can't look at crypto as a long-term thing. Nothing in crypto is long-term. You need to make your money in a pool of people. And you're looking at this pool of people and saying, I'm going to make money and I'm going to make sure I get out of here with more money than you. Because if I don't, you're going to sell and I'm going to lose. That is the reality of crypto. And, you know, in Kronos, they were the kings of DeFi when DeFi season was in, when I coined the term yield farming season, right? It's yield farming season. You had a bunch of new guys come in and watch my videos and just leave their money there. Because we were all new, we were all there, and we made it a very safe environment, right? And nobody knew, and that's why MMF and all those things lasted for so long, because we didn't have the take profit mentality. We had the yield farming peasant mentality, while all the whales sold the smart money. See, you would never know this stuff when you're a young lad. You know what I mean? It takes years to understand. Going through a cycle, going through DeFi, doing leverage trading, doing yield farming, creating LPs, staking, you know, learning what impermanent loss is, learning, you know, how to win, how to backdoor a coin. You know, you got to put yourself in every situation, trading NFTs, buying NFTs, selling NFTs. You got to go through every freaking facet of crypto DeFi to really understand what this beast is. Because you're doing what eventually the government is trying to infrastructure into our world. You know, we're doing it already. They're trying to take what we're doing and normalize it for the whole monetary system. One world government, one world chain, right? And this is how you do it. Everything's recorded here. Nothing could be done without it being recorded here on the blockchain network. That's just how it is. Everything's imprinted. If you're telling me that ain't the future of money and infrastructure and governance, then you don't know crypto. You don't even know what you're in. Because crypto is two things. It's technology and money, all in one. These video games are already doing it, you know what I mean? Like, when you play Grand Theft Auto and you buy a gun, boom, 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 that's an NFT. You can use in-game currency. That virtual token, they can actually tokenize that, create a supply, a limited supply or an unlimited supply for the game, and do this whole crypto thing inside that game. Like it's reality, like right now what we're doing, but put it in the game and blockchain all the transactions in that game with crypto technology. Everything's recorded. And now those items are NFTs. And now you can put that item on an NFT market that's an in-game gun. It's already been done on video games. They just need to transfer the infrastructure into all the gaming developers and this and that. And that is what you call a revolution. You know? That is what we're about to be coming into in the next 4 or 5 years probably. You know, when the Great American Reset happens, like every 100 years is a revolutionary monetary change or some shit of maybe like infrastructure or some shit. That's when we'll see this all come into play. Right. But yeah, look, even Pulse Chain, let's look at Pulse. Dude, even Pulse Chain, right, pulls in 33 million a day. Let's look at Sonic. Even the fucking Sonic Phantom Exchange pulls in 24 million. Right? Chronos barely hitting 2 million. I'm telling you. I don't know where the liquid will come from. I really don't know where it's going to come from. Right? I couldn't tell you. Cuz I don't see anything happening. Ondo Finance acquires Oasis Pro, gaining key U.S. securities licenses. Wow. Best cryptos to buy right now. Why BlockDAG? So well, worth your attention. Galaxy Digital's Mike. Guys, it's time to eat. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. And, you know, I'll probably do this again tomorrow. Cover some news. Right. But yeah, everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. I don't know about all that. I just said that. It sounds cool, but I'll be here tomorrow. And bring some stuff to talk about. Bring whatever thing you guys want to learn about, especially. If there's something to learn, we're trying to do it here. You know what I mean? So, you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll be right back. Peace out.